7 minutes to 9 now. Jockeys should face higher penalties for overusing the whip in races. That is one proposal from the Horse Welfare Board, part of a wide-ranging 5-year strategy, which also says that apart from the welfare question, the whip also puts off the public from watching racing. We're joined now by two champion jockeys, Peter Scudamore, who's now a national hunt trainer, and John Frankham, who's in our radio car. Good morning to you both.
Morning.
Good morning.
Very well, thank you. John Frankham, the current rules are that you can use the whip 7 times maximum in a flat race and 8 times in a jump race. Would you change that, and if so, how?
Well, I'd change it because it's just a matter of perception. If you looked at a scenario where we didn't use a whip at all, and then somebody said, actually, we're going to start hitting horses, I don't think there's one single person would say and put their name to it, yes, I think we should be hitting horses. I think that we have a situation where you can break the rule and hit a horse 8 times, you'll get penalised, but you'll still keep the race. That can't be right. But it is literally just a perception thing. We've got a new 5-year welfare plan coming out, and I don't think it goes nearly far enough. The best thing about it is the fact that they're going to try and keep an eye on the horses when they're sold abroad. But going back to the whip, which is the main issue, which is the thing that people see, they don't see that horses are well looked after in stable yards, and they generally get 5-star treatment. What they see on the racecourse is horses being hit, and they're probably thinking, well, if they're hitting them in front of the camera, what's happening off camera? Which actually isn't the case, but it's just the whole perception thing.
Peter Scudamore, what do you think?
Yeah, look, I agree entirely with John on that thing. I mean, to me, there are many challenges that cause a horse pain, but the air cushion whip is not one of those things. It doesn't cause a significant level of pain. So I asked, what are we trying to achieve by banning the stick? Yeah, I accept more people would like it, and perhaps we get better riding standards, but I don't think it'll improve their well-being. If to pretend that banning the stick will have a major impact on their well-being, I think is wrong. But John has my partner Lucinda Russell, who trains horses, she agrees with John. The perception of the stick is put across as causing their well-being, but I don't think it is anything to do with their well-being.
But there are countries that have banned it entirely. Lots of countries are moving towards it. Countries like Norway, for example, have banned it entirely.
Yeah, I've ridden in Norway.
Yeah, so look, what is that like?
But I've ridden in Norway, and I don't think the well-being of the horse is any better in Norway than it is anywhere else. And what I worry about is the style of riding that is developed from not using the stick. You start using your legs more, you start rolling around more, and I don't think that it benefits a horse anymore. John would come in across that. I just don't. I think both of us agree we don't like seeing too much leg movement in a finish.
You mean you'd kick the horse rather than whip it? John Frankham, what do you think?
I think you'll resort to whatever is available when it comes to winning a race. I just think if they stop jockeys using it, I've always said that the jockeys should carry a whip for safety purposes in case a horse runs out. But we've had 6 incidents in the last 3 weeks of horses running out, and in each incident the jockey's carrying the whip in the wrong hand. So I don't think they've got a clue which hand to have their whip in. So you could say, well, there's a case for banning it altogether. It's not as though we're hitting them because they're being naughty. It's only because we're hitting them because we want them to go faster or not to slow down more is the case.
But if you would keep it, you would allow it to be carried only for safety. But couldn't you have the situation afterwards where a jockey could say, well, I used it, but each time I used it, it was full safety?
No, you're not. No, absolutely. The only time you're going to use it for safety purposes is if a horse goes to run out. And as I said, there's been plenty of incidents lately where it's not even used for that. But I think it would definitely improve the standard of riding. I think all the best jockeys, Peter Scudamore would have ridden many more winners because he's physically stronger. He's got a knack of getting the best out of horses without hitting them. It's an absolute no-brainer. If you went to Miriam Phelps, who's the new BHA chief, said, right, say to me that you are happy for horses to be hit in a race, and we're going to print it, I think you'd struggle to get her to say it, or anybody else for that matter.
Peter Scudamore, there's a different way to look at this, which is rather than the current emphasis, which is about penalising the jockey for using it, you could effectively penalise the horse disqualify the horse, that's something that then hurts the owners and the trainers.
Yeah, I'm sure John will agree with this. If you overstep the mark with a stick, the horse should be disqualified. If you're offside in football, it's not a goal. I mean, if I stand there and have a pound on a horse and mine finishes second and the jockey on the winner uses his stick more, I think it's thoroughly unfair.
Would the jockey be acting on instructions often, John, or there's a way that you're trained?
Well, there's not acting on instructions. It's a written law that you can only hit them 7 times. I think that's 2 more. I think you've only got 4 fingers and a thumb on one hand. I think that's probably 5 would have been 5 would have been easier for most jockeys. But I just think it's a no-brainer. I would say, right, let's have racing. Can't use the whip for a couple of weeks and see how we go. I don't think people are going to.
Peter Scudamore, thank you both.
Our editors Imogen Wolfe and Dan McAdam.